but you can still identify with lost trust and destroyed unity. When Chick-fil-A dropped the pimento cheese chicken sandwich from their menu, when the last episode of the TV show Lost aired and left you angry that you ever watched the show in the first place, when your GPS says you have arrived, but you're in the middle of a cornfield. Those aren't really serious life issues except for the Mavericks. But there are times when lost trust and unity are deeply painful. Maybe you feel that way about your dysfunctional, chaotic family. Does your family bring you joy and peace? Or is it a source of frustration, embarrassment, maybe even pain? The definition of unity is the state or fact of being united or combined into one. As a parts of a whole, unification. Does that describe your family? If not, it can. It's possible. And families are under pressure. Busy schedules, constant distractions, misunderstandings, and even deep hurts divide. But God has a better plan. God designed the family to be a place of support, unity, love, and fun. Now, unity doesn't mean perfection. It certainly doesn't mean you always agree. It means you stick together, you work through things, and reflect God's heart. Psalm 133:1 says, "How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity." And you might say, "Pastor Tyler, but you don't understand. You don't know how divided my family is. There's no way we can be unified." Here to tell you there's a path. You might also be thinking, this doesn't apply to me. I don't have a family. Don't tune me out. While I'm speaking about family unity, these principles also apply to other areas of life. Friendship, work, school, anything involving people. And I want to look at the family of Joseph. As we do, you might come to realize your family's not so bad after all. Let me set the stage. Story of Joseph covers 14 chapters in the book of Genesis. And you often hear stories of Joseph being tempted by Potiphar's wife, being forgotten in prison, or that God always had a plan working behind the scenes. In fact, last summer we did a 10-week series on the story of Joseph. You can listen to them on our YouTube channel, First in Alar. But I'd like to look at one of the most divided, messed up, dysfunctional, hopeless families in the Bible. There are lessons to be learned from their mistakes. This is the account of Jacob, Joseph's dad, and his family. When Joseph was 17 years old, he often tended his father's flock. He worked for his half-brothers, the sons of his father's wives, Bilhah and Zilpah. But Joseph reported to his father some of the bad things his brothers were doing. Jacob loved Joseph more than any of his other children because Joseph had been born to him in his old age. So one day, Jacob had a special gift made for Joseph, a beautiful robe. But his brothers hated Joseph because their father loved him more than the rest of them. They couldn't say a kind word to him. Jacob elevated Joseph to a higher level than his brothers when he presented Joseph with a fancy coat. Joseph was treated different. And this was because he was born when Jacob was older to his favorite wife. By the way, the Bible and I recommend having one wife. To preserve unity in your family, treat everyone with love and respect. Don't pick favorites. I struggle with this as a children's pastor. I want to show favoritism. And my daughter certainly doesn't understand it. Evie doesn't understand why she is never picked to go to the candy cart. She feels like her dad should notice every good thing she does and reward it. She doesn't understand. My responsibility, it's not just to her, but to every child that walks into our children's ministry. The same is true for your family. Remember, every member of your family has a unique role. Everyone matters. Unity doesn't come because one person does everything. Unity comes because each person does something. 1 Corinthians 12 says, just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so it is with Christ. But in fact, God has placed the parts in the body, every one of them, just as he wanted them to be. Every once in a while, someone comes to me and says, don't you want to be a real pastor? When are you going to be a lead pastor? I know they mean well, but they're sowing seeds of disunity. My role at this church matters. My role is to serve the kids, senior adults, those who need pastoral care, and to support Pastor Parker and Pastor Rod in any way that I can to help God's church be exactly what he wants it to be. I don't need to be a lead pastor to be fruitful and fulfilled in my ministry. I have God-given skills and talents and abilities that support the roles that I have been tasked with at this church. I am exactly where God has placed me to be. And I love supporting my dad as he leads this church. And I can't wait to do the same for my brother one day too. Don't try to be anybody else but you. And appreciate each member of your family for who they are. Understand. Embrace your role. You might be the peacemaker, the primary provider, the encourager, the protector, the listener, the prayer warrior, the joy bringer, the organizer. God has designed each of you to be unique individuals that round out your families. Know your role and embrace it. Together you can make a difference. One night, Joseph had a dream. And when he told his brothers about it, they hated him more than ever. Listen to this dream, he said. We were out in a field, tying up bundles of grain, and suddenly my bundle stood up. And your bundles all gathered around and bowed low before mine. His brothers responded, so you think you will be our king, do you? Do you actually think you will reign over us? And they hated him all the more because of his dreams and the way he talked about them. Now, Joseph didn't say, hey, I'm better than you losers. But he had to have known how his dream would be received. His dream was from God, and it was prophetic. But how he shared it was unwise. To promote unity in your family, don't be prideful. Be humble. Show humility in everything you do, even if you are really the best or the favorite. Obviously, I'm the favorite son of my parents. But I don't remind Parker about that. Humility honors. Humility puts others first. Humility doesn't brag or boast. Humility promotes unity. And Joseph's brothers, they made a basic mistake. They were mad. And instead of talking about it and working through it, they fed their anger and resentment. What you don't deal with grows. This is the number one issue in marriages and families. You don't talk through and work through things together. If you want your family to be unified and healthy, communicate. Actually talk to each other. Stay current. Deal with the little things so that they can't become big things. Bottling up feelings is never healthy. But Pastor Tyler, won't we be dealing with problems all the time? I mean, it might seem like it at first, but you'll be dealing with minor issues that are much less heated and emotional. Families need to feel safe sharing their hurts, fears, worries, celebrations, hopes, and dreams. Talk to each other. Go old school. Actually sit at a table and eat together. Put down your phones. Look at each other. You'll be surprised what it does for your family. Emily and I have 2 children, Evie and Maverick. We have a rule. Meals cannot be eaten anywhere but the table. We sit around the kitchen table and eat together. And everyone gets a chance to talk. And if you know my kids, it is never silent. They just keep talking. But we listen, we share, laugh, sometimes even correct. Evie and Maverick are 5 and 7 years old. But we want to keep the tradition going even when they're teenagers and young adults and older. I challenge you to try it. And I know you probably can't do it every single night, but give it a shot. One night, phones off, TV off, put the food on the table, and everyone sit around it. Joseph not only told his brothers a dream that implied he was over them once, he did it again. And soon, Joseph had another dream. Again, he told his brothers about it. Listen, I've had another dream, he said. The sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed low before me. This time, he told the dream to his father as well to his brothers. But his father scolded him. What kind of dream is that? He asked. Will your mother and I and your brothers actually come and bow to the ground before you? But while his brothers were jealous of Joseph, his father wondered what the dreams meant. As you imagine, dream number 2 didn't go over too well. The brothers were already jealous because Joseph was the favorite. Now they were angry at his arrogant, prideful dreams. What happened next is the picture of a divided, dysfunctional family. When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, they recognized him in the distance. And as he approached, they made plans to kill him. Here comes the dreamer, they said. Come on, let's kill him. Throw him into one of these cisterns. We can tell our father a wild animal has eaten him. Then we'll see what becomes of his dreams. The brothers came up with a crazy scheme to kill their brother and hide the evidence. It doesn't get much more dysfunctional than that. But when Reuben heard of their scheme, he came to Joseph's rescue. Let's not kill him, he said. Why should we shed any blood? Let's just throw him into this empty cistern here in the wilderness. Then he'll die without our laying a hand on him. Reuben was secretly planning to rescue Joseph and return him to his father. So when Joseph arrived, his brothers ripped off the beautiful robe he was wearing. Then they grabbed him and threw him into the cistern. Now, the cistern was empty. There was no water in it. Then just as they were sitting down to eat, they looked up and saw a caravan of camels in the distance coming toward them. It was a group of Ishmaelite traders taking a load of gum, balm, and aromatic resin from Gilead down to Egypt. Judah said to his brothers, what will we gain by killing our brother? We'd have to cover up the crime. Instead of hurting him, let's sell him to those traders. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood. And his brothers agreed. So when the Ishmaelites, who were Midianite traders, came by, Joseph's brothers pulled him out of the cistern and sold them to them for 20 pieces of silver. And the traders took him to Egypt. Now, there's some pretty obvious takeaways here. Don't plot to murder or sell a family member. That never ends well. I mean, no matter how tempting it might be, don't do this to your sibling. Be happy when others succeed. Don't let jealousy overtake you. Jealousy destroys unity. So when your brother wins the video game, don't unplug the console and yell technical difficulties. When your sister gets praised for her grades, don't accidentally erase her tablet. When your cousin gets the bigger piece of cake, don't loudly declare favoritism in front of grandma. When your sibling gets invited to something you didn't, don't give them the silent treatment for a week. When someone else gets attention, don't try to one-up their story with your own dramatic version. When your mom helps your sister with her kids, don't say it must be nice to be a favorite. When your brother's kids win awards, don't suddenly become an expert on how much pressure is too much. When your dad brags about your sister's success, don't assume it means he's forgotten yours. When your adult child leans more on their in-laws, don't flood them with guilt. Ask how you can better support them. When your sibling is more financially successful, don't make subtle jabs about how money changes people. When your spouse receives a compliment, don't undercut it with a reminder of something they forgot to do. Don't let jealousy dictate your actions. Sadly, the dysfunction in Joseph's family continued. Sometime later, Reuben returned to get Joseph out of the cistern. When he discovered that Joseph was missing, he tore his clothes in grief. Then he went back to his brothers and lamented, "The boy is gone. What will I do now?" Then the brothers killed a young goat and dipped Joseph's robe in its blood. They sent the beautiful robe to their father with this message, "Look at what we found. Doesn't this robe belong to your son?" Their father recognized it immediately. "Yes," he said, "it's my son's robe. A wild animal must have eaten him, and Joseph has clearly been torn to pieces." Often the immediate response is the thought that lying makes things better. It doesn't. Lying never works. Lying to your family hurts them. It doesn't protect them from the pain of the truth. Lying creates seeds of distrust that will break a family apart and never result in good. And regardless of how good a liar you are, one day the truth will be known and trust will be broken. To preserve unity in your family, tell the truth. Even if it's painful, even if it's scary. Be honest with one another, even when it's uncomfortable. Unity is built on trust, and trust is built through truth. Jesus said, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Fast forward many years later. Through a series of miracles, Joseph had been elevated to leadership and was in control of the world's food supply while his family was starving. Joseph was the governor of the land, the person who sold grain to all its people. So when Joseph's brothers arrived, they bowed to him with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them. But he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where do you come from?" he asked. "From the land of Canaan," they replied, "to buy food." And although Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. My, how the tables have turned. Joseph had a decision to make. He was in a position of extreme power, and his brothers, the ones who plotted to kill him, ones who sold him into slavery, they were completely powerless. And what unfolded is a story of forgiveness, grace, and the restoration of a family. It's an incredible story that takes up the next 5 chapters. I encourage you to read it. But at the end of the story, Joseph and his family were reunited and restored. The crazy, out of control, dysfunctional family became loving, healthy, and unified. And to celebrate, Joseph threw an enormous party. After years of sadness and struggles, he knew it was time to celebrate. The men had been seated before him in the order of their ages, from the firstborn to the youngest. They looked at each other in astonishment, so they feasted and drank freely with them. To keep your family unified, healthy, happy, have fun. Life is filled with plenty of problems. Political turmoil, financial challenges, craziness in schools, chaotic weather patterns, the car breaks down, a kid gets sick, the dryer quits working, you lose your job. And often a family's response to hard times is to shut down and not celebrate. I challenge you, make the intentional choice to do fun things with your family, even if you don't feel like it. Your family needs fun. When times are tough, you need fun. When things are going great, you need fun. It's always time for fun. And as Proverbs 17:22 says, laughter is like medicine. Having fun and laughing together can bring health and restoration to your family. Your shared story and your memories of laughter will overshadow the struggles and difficulties your family has faced. So today, here are Pastor Tyler's top 5 favorite ways to have fun with your family. You ready for them? Number 1, get ice cream. Loblolly is my family's personal favorite ice cream. In that picture, I'm holding a cone with Pinnacle Trail, which if you don't know what that is, it is dark chocolate ice cream with chocolate chips and pecans in it. Can I get an amen in the crowd for that? Emily likes strawberry buttermilk. Evie likes the berry sorbet, but this week she decided she was going to change it up and get pool party. Maverick is all about the chocolate. Ice cream makes everything better. You might say, we can't afford ice cream. Well, I would like to buy a family some Loblolly ice cream. So who wants some ice cream today? You do? Okay, come on up here. I'll get you some ice cream. Now, Loblolly has the weirdest gift cards I've ever seen in my life. They're little tokens, but each token is good for 2 scoops of ice cream. Oh, you're welcome. You better try the Pinnacle Trail. It's the best. Number 2, tonight is Missions Experience. There is free food for your kids. Pastor Parker said it earlier. I'll say it too. I don't need much more incentive than that. Free food. Be here tonight with your family. Next Sunday night is Family Fun Night. We are having Kids Blitz, which is, if you remember Double Dare back in the day, it's like that, but church. And it's going to be fun and it's free. And next Sunday night, we're giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. So somebody over there really wants it. I don't think you're young enough to win it. If you don't know what a Nintendo Switch 2 is, ask your kids. I promise they know what it is. Number 3, get outside. Now, I know it's hot right now, but go outside. Go to the park, a splash pad. Go to the new Burns Park Funland. It is Evie and Maverick approved. Number 4, pop a bag of popcorn, sit down on the couch, and watch a movie at home with your family. Currently, my family's favorite movie is Zootopia. We have watched it 5 times in the last 2 weeks. I don't know that I can watch it again. Sit down and watch a movie with your family. Number 5, go to Silver Dollar City for a day. It takes 3 hours and 15 minutes to drive from my house to Silver Dollar City. fact, this last month, or a few months ago, we let the kids skip a day of school. We got them up, we drove to Silver Dollar City, we went, we had fun, and we came back that night. And you might say, we can't afford to go to Silver Dollar City. Well, I want to send a family with kids to Silver Dollar City. Wow. My goodness, I did not expect that response. Remember? Wait, you're running up here? Your mom told you to run up here? I'll get something for you too, okay? I got you. Find me after service. I'll get you covered. There you go. Tell your mama that's a $100 gift card and gas money too, because I know it takes a lot of driving. I got a bonus one for you too. Number 6 is the surprise. Ask your kids what they want to do and do it. Sometimes you're too quick to say no to what your kids want to do because it's inconvenient. Yesterday morning, Maverick came up to me and said, "Dad, I want to do this." I did not want to do it. I looked at Emily and said, "Man, it really stinks that I have to practice what I preach right now." But I did it. I challenge you to say yes, even when it's inconvenient. If your kids want to play video games, go for it. If they want to go outside and roll in the mud, get dirty. In fact, a few weeks ago, we were redoing our backyard. We had a giant pile of dirt in our backyard, and this is what Maverick did. Y'all clapped for that. He spent 3.5 hours in that pile of dirt. He was mad the next morning when the pile of dirt was gone. If they want to build a blanket for it in the living room, crawl in and stay a while. If they want pancakes for dinner, fire up the griddle. If they want to make up a silly song, sing it loud, even off key. If they want to pretend you're a dinosaur, get on your hands and knees and roar like your reputation doesn't matter. If they want to ride bikes, dust yours off and pedal like you're 10 again. If they want to do a cartwheel, cheer them on, try one yourself, just stretch first. If they want to have a tea party, ask for cream and sugar and sit like royalty. If they want to play with Barbies, distract them, talk them into something else, do whatever you can to get out of it. I'm just kidding. Get down and play with the Barbies. Have fun as a family. Turn your brain off for a day and enjoy the family that God has blessed you with. Treat everyone with love and respect. Remember, in your family, every member has a unique role. Be humble. Communicate. Don't let jealousy overtake you. Tell the truth. Have fun.